Alright guys, what's up? We're here for another video. Today is going to be a Season 2 prediction of the Total Drama reboot, and there's already been information leaked about it, which is even why I'm doing this video. It makes it way easier to predict, but this video is not for people who don't want to see what the spoilers were, because the Spanish voice actor for Chris apparently leaked some things about the first episode, because he was showing the first episode reboot, recap on the screen, and it's like, okay, thank you for absolutely nothing. But I did look at the spoilers because I have absolutely no control. I wanted to be included because my friends were talking about it. And it showed who the first boot were and who the teams are, which does make it a lot easier to speculate what the potential order will be. And I'm glad that it was not like the finalist or something super, super major spoiled, but it's still kind of sad. And so if you don't want to see the spoilers, then I recommend not watching this video, but I am going to be talking about that, and that will be the context for my entire elimination order prediction. And I'm not just predicting the elimination order. I also have a bingo card that I made that talks about more general aspects, or like plot aspects, like what the characters will actually do and what their arcs will be. Some of them are still elimination related, but I think it'd be cool to show the bingo card. And then when the season actually comes out, I can make an update on if I got a bingo or not, because I'm going for a bingo. And I've thought about a lot of possibilities about what could happen, and so I'm just so excited for this season, and like the first one hasn't even officially come out in the US, which is really dumb. They should have just released it further, but I don't know the context of what's going on behind the scenes, so I can't say anything. But these are the teams, and we know that Priya and Bowie, because people translated the recap, the script he was showing, and it seems that they are the team captains because they were finalists last season, and they picked the teams, which would be pretty obvious just by looking at them, considering Damien and Millie are on this team and Wayne and Raj are on Bowie's team. But sadly, the first boot has already been revealed, and the first boot it's not Scary Girl, it's Normal Girl. I refuse to call her Scary Girl now because calling her Normal Girl is so funny, but apparently the reason for her elimination is because, quote unquote, like, the normal version of her was scarier than the scary version, which that's really funny, and I am sad to see her go, because if you saw my tier list, you know I love Scary Girl, but it's fair for her to be a first boot. I just hope really obnoxious characters don't make it far, which they probably will, but who can say anything about that? But yeah. And some people think she'll return or become an intern, and at first I thought people were saying she was an intern because her new getup looks like an intern outfit. Like, it looks like some kind of like classic Survivor outfit, or it even looks like she works at McDonald's. So I don't know where she got that outfit, but I do agree that the non-scary version is even scarier than Scary Girl. But I don't think she'll return, because they'd have to do 2 double eliminations and another 3-person finale, which I'm completely fine with, the latter part, but I just don't think they'd have her returning in the season. If someone does return, it's obviously going to be her, though, but I hope she at least stays on the island and torments them. I just want to see more of Scary Girl. Not only that, but considering we also know what the challenge is, people are speculating it to be a red light, green light type of like Squid Game, and that sounds really cool, and we saw some of the screenshots from that, and so I'm guessing because Scary Girl is trying to be normal, like that's her strategy, I guess. Maybe the specific reason they vote her off is because she like tries to be nice and help someone by pushing them out of the way, but she instead just pushes them into the paint. I could definitely imagine that happening. So it'd be even more more incentive to vote her off. But next is Millie, because I mean, look at this face. Does this look like an early boot? I actually love Millie, but and she honestly could go far, because Millie, even though I like her, I could see her being like a writer's pet. Like, the writers keep her around for no reason. Kind of like Owen or Duncan to a lesser extent. Well, no. It's not to a lesser extent. Duncan's just better. But so I could see her going far, but at the same time, looking at the members of her team, it makes sense that she would be eliminated, because here I have them set off in pairs. Like, Axel and Nichelle seem like they're going to have a thing, you know? Because in the finale, they kept reacting to things together, and Nichelle was freaked out by her, and they're on the same team now, so I could definitely imagine them having some sort of dynamic, and then Millie, Damien, and Priya will probably be together, but the other team members might see this as like we gotta, like, they're a little bit too close, maybe. And I do think Caleb is going to be an antagonist in this season, and I know people don't want that to happen, but I'm completely fine with it, because people are like, oh, he's just gonna be like Justin or Alejandro, and it's like, I mean, that's kind of true, but he could still feel different, because I don't see Justin and Alejandro as the same character at all, even though they have similar even though they're just both hot guys who use their charm. But I see them as different characters, so if Caleb has something new to offer, I'm okay with that. And he does have an incentive to become a villain, because thinking about it, I want there to be like two antagonistic forces, because just one is kind of, I like there to be two. And if they just repeated it being Julia or Bowie again, that would be boring. So I'm thinking it would be like MK and Axel. And Caleb. Wait, did I say Axel? I meant Caleb. MK and Caleb. That's who I meant. And Caleb would be more like the brawn type, like Julia, and MK would be the sneakier one, like Bowie. I'm getting all their names mixed up, but anyways, I could definitely see that. But I could see Caleb and Emma working together as well. Like, I could see Emma breaking up with Chase and Caleb manipulating Emma, or at least maybe not even purposefully manipulating her if he's not like a bad guy. But Emma would just like fall for him and do whatever he says. They could even be a couple. Could you imagine that? I don't think we want that. But anyways, back to Millie. The reason she'd be voted out is because I think Axel and Michelle would see her as weak, and then Caleb and Emma maybe were like, these three are a little too close. So it's like a double whammy, because she's not that strong of a team competitor, but she's still like a quote unquote threat because she's so tied to these two. So it'd just be a really good decision. And Z he gives the vibe of someone who's very easily persuadable, so I could definitely see him being swayed either which way. And I think Millie's arc is basically completed in the first season, so she will be an early boot this time, but I could even see her going farther, but we'll see. Next is Chase, and people see both Emma and Chase as early boots, but honestly, I think Chase is going to be eliminated earlier, and then Emma is going to make it farther, because I think they're going to want to develop her without Chase. And I think they are going to break up. I think... sorry, I was reading my notes. But I think maybe Emma, by this episode, if this is like episode 3, she's already broken up with him. Or maybe she just breaks up with him at the end of this episode, but maybe he's trying to get her attention the whole time and not focusing on the challenge, and so they're just like annoyed by him and like, you're gross. And it doesn't, I mean, Bowie already doesn't like him, and he has an alliance. He probably will have an alliance with Wayne and Raj, so I could definitely see Chase going here. But Emma will definitely make it farther. Now, this next one is, for 13th place, is Raj, and wow, look at this. This is really even so far. But I originally thought Raj would go farther than Wayne, but I definitely do think one is going to be eliminated pre-merge and the other will make it farther and get more development. And I originally thought that Raj would make it farther because they want to develop Bowie and Raj's relationship, but I actually think Raj will be eliminated sooner because it would make more sense. I could see these three here, Ripper, Julie, and MK, actually like reluctantly teaming up to like get these three out, and it would make sense to target Raj because he's very close to Wayne and Bowie, and they would all be in an alliance, so it makes sense to kick him out, I guess. And yep, I just can't. I can't imagine both of them merging. I think one has to go, and maybe that's a very boring reason. I mean, it's very hard to predict, but next one I have a super random team swap. It's Emma and Ripper swapping, and this makes like. It doesn't really matter who swaps here, but I think it'll be Ripper as long as it's not Bowie. But I think Emma is... Well, I think Bowie's still going to be eliminated pre-merge, but I think Emma and Bowie need to kind of like... Not tie the knot. That's like a romantic expression, I think. But they need to like sort of make up. Because I think Emma might say sorry to Bowie at this point. And they could do that on opposite teams, but... And again, a team swap is a very random thing to predict because there's so many variables. Like it literally could be anyone, but... I think there probably will be a team swap. At least I hope so, because in past seasons, it works out. Like in Revenge of the Island when Joe and Scott switched teams. I don't really like that season that much, even though I used to be like a huge defender of it, but that was a really good decision. And I like the team swaps because it really shakes things up and allows for more dynamics. And it doesn't need to be Ripper over here, but I think it should be one of these person's alliance to see, like, maybe see where Emma's loyalty lies, if she will side with Bowie or Julia. So they could make up, or Emma could even just be feuding with Bowie, and they could like, and Emma would be like in the middle of these two and have to make a decision. But my next one is actually Priya, and I definitely think I'm actually excited for Priya in the next season because despite being in the finale and winning so far for what we've seen, I think she actually has a lot of potential to realize something about her parents because her winning is like she gets to go to med school and she's free now, but I could also imagine she's like, oh, my parents want me to be the first 2-time total drama winner. And I can imagine her like cracking under the pressure, and multiple people have talked about Damien and Priya getting together, and I definitely think that'll happen because it's been hinted so many times, and it would give both of them some good development, actually. So I could see Damien, or I could see Damien being the one to talk some sense into her, which would, I mean, that could be a mixed bag because, like, girl, why would you listen to Damien but not Millie? But Millie did go about it the wrong way. But yeah, I could see her quitting, actually, like, not being voted out. I could see her just quitting, like, maybe if Damien was about to be voted out, or just because. Or maybe Ripper annoys her so much that she just quits. I would quit at that point, too. But she could be voted out for being a threat as well, but I could definitely see her just quitting. But I think she has a lot to offer in the next season if she gets into a relationship with Damien and has a plot where she realizes something about her parents and becomes more independent of them. That would be cool. And I could even see her getting further, like, just because she was a final 2 doesn't mean she can't merge. I could definitely see her imagine getting farther. If they would want to flesh out these storylines, but I do think I think they could do a really nice story with her in a short amount of episodes. And not be like the main focus of the season, because she had so much last time, but she would be good here. And the merge would happen here at around 10th place, but next is Bowie. And I basically have no reason. Total Drama always comes up with some crazy twist where it does not make sense who goes. And sometimes it does, but, they always try to keep it unpredictable, even if, like, in the episode itself it's predictable. So I can imagine Bowie going here. I could see Emma betraying his trust, or maybe an idol gets played from MK or Julia. I think it'd be really cool if MK had the idol, especially because she's so sneaky. Like, it would make so much sense. Or if she, like, stole it from someone because she's so sneaky. MK has a lot of potential as a villain, and I do think she'll be the main antagonist. But yeah, they would merge here, and it could even be a thing. Like, I love, like, here's the one good thing about All Stars: when they had the losing team eliminate someone, the winning team eliminate someone from the losing team. That was super cool, and I can imagine them voting off Bowie if Caleb is like, yo, if Caleb's still holding a grudge, and that could be a way for Caleb to get revenge on Bowie, and they don't even have to both merge. That'd be super cool. So now let's just move these up here very slowly. But this is where they would merge, and I guess I have to put them all in the same category now, but woo! I'm not even sure if they're going to merge them at the same number again, because last time was a really early merge, so I have no idea if they're just going with that and having early merges and only like 6 eliminations previously, but we'll see about that. But I just kept it here because I just don't know. I think they will try to merge a lot of characters, but next is... Wait, I don't know why I wrote these as separate things, because in my notes they're the same thing as a double elimination, so I'll just fix this real quick, but I think it'll be Bowie and Julia. Weirdly enough, I actually think these two will have some sort of storyline, and specifically Ripper, his voice actor said in an interview that we are going to see a quote-unquote new side of him, and I imagine it'll be some... I'm not sure if this story is actually going to be good, but I can imagine some sort of story where it's like, oh, he's just insecure, even though he's a bully. And I can imagine Julia and Ripper having some sort of weird friendship or even romance. Like, I know that's completely weird to say, but I can imagine them cooking up something like that. I can imagine the writers cooking up something, but yep. So I do think Ripper will be, it'll kind of be like Duncan and Island or even All Stars, where it's like, oh, he's not that much of a bad guy, and let's hope he doesn't fart in this season so much. He gets a 1 fart limit, okay? Every character gets a 1 fart limit, and that's it. All right, who's next? People are talking downstairs, but we're just going to have to deal with that. Next is Emma, and I can't imagine Emma going like super, super far because she was already 5th last season. Okay, honestly, if they did want to make it unpredictable, I can imagine her being a finalist. Like, that would be super crazy. Would it be good? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. I know most people probably wouldn't be into that because they don't like Emma, but I actually like Emma a lot, and especially without Chase, she has so much potential because she's so quirky. And that is the worst way to describe her, but I can imagine her being eliminated here, especially if Caleb is allies with her. They would just kick her off at this point, but like I said earlier, I definitely do think she will develop without Chase and have multiple episodes without him. I don't think they'll be eliminated together. I think they're going to want her to actually do something different and develop on her own, and I can imagine her, like I said, saying sorry to Bowie, or she could even just not care and just go full villain. Alright, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry. my record all of a sudden stopped, but I have a frozen hot chocolate, and I'm reset, and I'm all ready to go. We stopped off at 7th place, and these merge placements, like, I literally have no reason for them, because in the merge, it's so much harder to speculate what will happen, because, like, pre-merge, I think it's just easier to guess what the plot lines will be, but for this one, I'm just shooting in the dark, but let's say Caleb gets 7th. I have it written down. I could imagine him being a minor antagonist and getting eliminated 7th, and maybe a minor antagonist would go farther, but I can just imagine him going here. Especially because we have no idea what his personality is going to be like at all. But he does seem full of himself, and he calls himself intelligent and kind, so we'll see. Maybe he'll be a DJ type, actually. I'll actually be lovable, but we'll see. And if he is lovable, I can imagine him being taken advantage of by MK somehow. Poor guy gets screwed over every single time. But, yep, that's what I think. And next is Axel. And basically the reason I think it's 6th is because I kind of want her to go really far, but I think she will merge, but to be eliminated a little bit sooner. So 6 would be a good place for her. I think she could just be eliminated for being a threat. Or if Nichelle and Axel at this point would have an alliance, then she would be targeted. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. And okay, let me tell you, because the Nichelle Axel storyline, I have like the funniest idea of Nichelle, and maybe we should talk about it when we actually get to it, but I want to talk about it now since I was just talking about Axel. In the promo, it supposedly shows Nichelle kind of winning it for her team, and so people are like, oh, she's competent now. But I think it'd be really funny if... I'm sorry. I had to burp for a second. Really classy in the middle of my video, but anyways, I do think that maybe there could be more to the story, like she didn't actually win it for her team, like maybe it was by accident, or even Axel helped her to win the challenge, because I haven't seen the promo video in a while, but I'm pretty sure when the team wins, Axel is the only one who's not cheering, and that could be just because she's really grumpy, but I can imagine her also like have helped Nichelle in some way, and so she's mad that she's not getting the recognition. But an even more crackhead theory I had is that it's Jerry in a wig. In a wig. Jerry, her stunt double in a wig, and this idea wasn't mine. I saw some others, but I kind of built on top of it. People were like, what if it's Jerry in a wig? And I'm like, that would be so funny if it was Jerry in a wig. And she would like have to hide the secret from others. Like, it's not Jerry in a wig the entire time, but like when a challenge is about to get heated, she switches herself out with Jerry with her stunt double. And so it's just Jerry in a wig. And he's like not talking, obviously, because he'll have a completely different voice from Nichelle. And so everyone's like, why is Nichelle being completely silent? But oh, she's really good all of a sudden. And I can imagine her getting exposed for that. Yeah, I can imagine her getting exposed for that, but still going far. Like, they would just forgive her for it. Like, MK would be like, oh, look, she... like, wow, look at her. She's so evil. She was doing a stunt man, but then she gets exposed. Can you imagine if she even gets eliminated for cheating? But Chris literally never eliminates anyone who's cheating. Like, look, when MK looks at the confessionals, that's cheating. Or, like, the 2 or 3 times in the series when people have rigged the votes. Like, what are you doing, Chris McLean? What are you doing? I had to say it really slowly because in my first video, I like said it wrong, or I like stumbled over my words. So that's why. And I've been thinking about it ever since. So anyways, what were we talking about? Nichelle. Yeah, that'd be a great storyline. And there's no way they're going to do that. But listen, that would be, you can't tell me that wouldn't be gold. You can, and she'd like have to hide it. Maybe even Axel would be the one who finds it out and exposes her. But then everyone's like, wow, that's rude. But I can't imagine them not caring. So that's not a part of the actual prediction, because literally what? Anyways, Wayne is 5th, and I have no reason for this other than I think Wayne or Z would have to go here. And gender balance doesn't matter as much anymore, obviously, because they had like 4 females and Bowie in the final 5. So it's obviously don't care about that anymore, which is good because it makes it more unpredictable, and it's just like the characters that need to go far do go far, and they're not just worried about, oh, we need to make sure there's like 2 guys and 2 girls in the final 4 or something like that. But I do think Nichelle or MK will go farther, especially because MK is like maybe the only villain here, unless Nichelle is like on her Nichelle's on her villain arc. But that would probably be bad. I want her to be more goofy. I want her to be really goofy. But I think Z and Wayne would be the main comedic characters, and so because of that, one of them just has to go here. But Wayne would probably get development, and I know some people say maybe Wayne would be jealous of Raj and Bowie's relationship, but I think that would be really out of character and just not very good, because Like Wayne was like really supportive of Raj coming out, and like I was a really supportive friend, so I don't see why all of a sudden he would just be mad at Bowie and Raj. Like unless they were just straight up treating him badly, or Raj was treating him badly, but that would also ruin Raj's character. So I'm not really a huge fan of that storyline. I think it would probably not end well, and would make someone like not maybe not even derailed necessarily, but make them less likable, and just kind of like why out of all the routes did you choose this? And we know that it's happened several times in Total Drama. Like literally like DJ, maybe like everyone in All Stars. Like, I'm sorry, this isn't an All Stars bashing video. This is about 2023. Anyways, who's fourth? It's Z, and I think some people are predicting Z to be a early boot, and I like almost agree with that. Like, I think Z is either gonna be an early boot or go super far. Like, there's no in between. Like, there's no way he can be like in these middle spots. Like he's got it going on. Maybe we'll see a thing like Lindsay in action where even though he's stupid, maybe I'm not saying like he becomes smart, because I don't think Lindsay's thing in action was that she became smart. It was just more like independent. And Lindsay did kind of stumble into things a lot with luck, but it was fine. So I can imagine Z doing that. He just stumbles into things because of luck. I need to talk more like Z so I don't stumble over my words. But anyways, yeah. That'd be a super good plot, but I don't know. I just think he's going to go far, especially because, like, before the first season was even leaked, we saw, like, the promo image of, like, a newspaper or something like that, magazine, I don't know, or maybe it's just a webpage, where it said that the movies would be based on horror movie challenges and thrillers, or, like, I don't know, it was something to do with movies, and I thought that was really weird, because I'm like, I do not think that happened in this season, so maybe they're talking about season 2. And I really hope season 2 is, movie focused, like they do movie challenges, because like Total Drama Action has the best challenges in the series. Like they were really creative and really fun. And I mean, I'm writing a fan fiction about season 2 of this, so I know how hard it is to come up with challenges, but basing it on movies makes it a lot easier to narrow it down and to do something really interesting instead of just like a boring obstacle course or race to the other side of the island. Like boring challenges really do make an episode worse. Unless the character moments are like completely top tier, then like the challenge being worse actually makes it so boring. Because the challenge being interesting makes the characters more interesting in a way too. If it's like the capture the skull challenge or the pirate ship challenge of last season was great. And I don't even know how I got on this tangent. Oh, right, it was about Z. So if in season 2 they're going to do movie related challenges, he could do really well in them actually if he's like a movie buff, because he revealed that for some reason. Where he was like, it's just not one of his better directorial efforts. It's like, go King Z, he's just like us for real. Over analyzing Total Drama. But anyways, so this is our final 3, and MK would have to get 3rd at this point. And then these would be our finalists, which I will talk about them in a second. But first I want to talk about MK. I do think it'll be a 3-person finale again, so MK would be technically in the finale, but she'd still be 3rd. Kind of like how Millie... I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure there's not going to be a Millie alternate ending that we have to worry about. So I don't think that'll happen. So she'll still be in the finale, but she'll be like the canon 3rd place. And I can imagine MK being villainous because she was in the first season. Like she straight up did not care about people, and she kind of ruined Julia's reputation for no reason, but I guess it actually worked out for her kind of because she like revealed her true self, but it did not work out in MK's favor. But I could see her hacking into the confessionals again, but they might make them more secure this time so that doesn't happen. And I do think that it would be hard for MK to not be eliminated again, because people would be like, why did you hack the confessionals? Like, that's such an invasion of privacy. And they would just vote her out again. But considering that she's on a team with a bunch of people like Bowie and Julia and Ripper, I think she could fly under the radar. She could actually succeed at flying under the radar this time, because she's on a team with multiple villainous threats, so they wouldn't just target her. And I hope she does new things with technology too, because I don't want to spoil my fan fiction, but she uses technology in multiple ways to manipulate people, and so that's great. She's the Gen Z chronically online villain that we deserve. I have like a headcanon that MK is like an epic gamer, and she's chronically online. So she'd be like Z, always online, like watching reviews. She'd be watching these type of videos. Like, let's be honest. MK is one of us as well. Yeah, I could see her being a sympathetic villain though, because in the first season when she gets eliminated, she's like, good thing I didn't make any friends. So maybe like Millie, I mean, Millie wasn't like a villain, so MK would be more of a villain, but she could have a similar arc to MK where she's like, you know what, maybe I need to stop being bitchy towards everyone, or like, we could learn that she uses sarcasm as a defense, obviously. That's a pretty basic one, but it'll give her something more with depth. I'm sorry, I just swallowed my drink, but anyways. Yeah, I think MK has tons of potential. She could be deep. She could be deep, bruh. She'd be a deep antagonist, and maybe she could even make a friend, but be like super reluctant towards it. That'd be cool. Could you imagine if you become friends with Z? I don't know why, but I think MK and Z would be a great duo. Like, Z would just be like, yeah, we're friends, bruh. And MK is like, I don't like you, please leave. But then she like warms up to him. That would be peak. And I pair up MK and Axel in my fanfiction, actually. So it's a very random pairing, but it also works. And I think another total drama, like action 2023 fanfiction that someone else is writing, that I've read a bit, they pair MK and Nichelle together, which is a little bit random because I think it's obviously these two that are going to pair up. But I can definitely see MK breaking trust, like breaking up relationships between people. And so I'm super, super, super excited for what she does. And I think MK and Caleb will be the antagonists, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure who else would be. Like, Axel is probably the only other one. Maybe even like Emma or Nichelle, like a twist villain, but that'd be, I don't think anyone wants that, so please don't do that. Our finalists are Damien and Nichelle, and Damien would definitely he would do more of what he did in the episode where he got eliminated. He would use his scientific smarts. I mean, I guess the dinosaur farting thing was kind of scientific smarts. I don't know. But I think he would win challenges in a bunch of creative ways, and that would be great. And if he gets some relationship with Priya as well, that'd be great development for him. But I think we're going to learn something more about Damien, like something about his family or past, like something actually deep about him. And Total Drama is not deep at all, but I think we'll get some sort of like clue, like some sort of flaw or insecurity that he has, maybe. Something like that. Because I think Damien would be a great sympathetic character. Like if he was like, oh, I'm insecure. And then you can't do that with all the characters, obviously. But yeah, I think he will have some sort of depth. But him being a finalist is probably extremely predictable since everyone is thinking it. But like, they definitely could pull a bait and switch. And my order is probably going to be completely wrong, but we'll see. And as for Nichelle, I do think she will have like, she'd have like a girl power thing, but she could even be maybe a bit of an anti-hero, because in the first season, only in the first episode, because her personality is really inconsistent for some reason, but I could definitely see her being kind of vain and just not really caring that much about other people while still being like kind of friendly, kind of like Chase in a way, maybe. But I could also see her being like a hero who's like, yes, girl power. I'm so good at everything. Not like girl boss. We don't want a girl boss. Actually, it'd be really funny if Nichelle was a girl boss and she's like, I'm a girl boss. And everyone is like, please shut up. We don't care. Like, I'm Nichelle LaDonna. And it's like, okay, we didn't ask. I can imagine her like acting career struggling now that she got exposed on Total Drama. And so she's like, the reason she comes back on Total Drama is because she's like lost money. Or I guess they are contractually obligated, but it would, Nichelle is like a rich celebrity, but if she like fell from glory because of Total Drama, I can imagine her being a deserving finalist. Because if she was just a rich celebrity, it's like, why are you in the finale? You don't deserve to have the money. But yep, that would be it. And we're gonna take a look at the bingo card. This is a really, it's a really messed up video. Like I cannot concentrate on anything. But here's the bingo card, and I'm not gonna zoom into it because if I zoom into it, it gets really blurry. So we're not doing that. But I'll read them off. So this first one is all pre-merge boots. Will merge this time, except for Scary Girl, and you can see that in my order. If they are only going to do 6 eliminations before the merge, I definitely think they'll all merge. The pre-merge boots will merge this time, especially because they have so many potential storylines to be unlocked and had. Like Nichelle and Axel, they have to merge. And if MK is the villain, or at least even just like the second antagonist, she would definitely have to merge. So I'd be super excited for that. And I actually came out with this. This was actually my prediction before the leaks. So I thought Scary Girl was going to be a pre-merge before. So I didn't write this down until the leaks came out, but I did have this in my mind and wrote this down as one of my predictions even before the leaks. So I do get a little bit of credit for knowing that Scary Girl will be pre-merge. And this next one is one of the players will quit. This is just a really random one, but Priya and Millie specifically, I think, will quit. Like, Millie will quit just because she doesn't enjoy the game that much, or because she doesn't feel like she deserves to be there, or Millie like quits in place of Priya so Priya can go farther, or Priya quits obviously because she realizes her parents are wackadoos that she doesn't want to do what they say. So one of them I could see quit. Chase will be a pre-merge boot. I don't know why I put this on the bingo card. I think I was struggling to come up with things to say, but yep. And I think Emma will develop without him. Did I write that on here? Yes, Emma develops without Chase. We'll get to that in a second. But MK and Caleb, antagonists of their teams. Yep. I definitely, and another thing another reason why I think Caleb will be an antagonist is because if you look at the team, it kind of lacks an antagonist besides like Axel, but I think it needs like a sneaky one because Axel probably more just like all up in your face. So that's another reason why I think Caleb will be antagonist, because if he's not, then like that team is a little bit too friendly, you know? Like, there's no one to cause conflict. Axel, Damien, and Nichelle have big roles. Yep. Specifically, these ones I think will merge and go far and be active in the story. Wayne or Raj will outlast the other by a fair margin. I like how I already talked about that in the beginning, but I definitely think they'll develop one of them. And Wayne is specifically in my prediction, but it could be either one. Some pre-merge eliminations, unexpected. Yeah. I think they'll try and pull a shocker on us, especially if there's like an idol play and we don't see the character have an idol. That'd be super cool. Priya and Damien will get together, obviously. Priya targeted as a threat is something I also mentioned. There's no way that people are going to like let her slide this time, because they kind of did in the original. Like, it's obvious that she is really athletic and even like semi-socially skilled, and Millie is her ally, and like everyone knows that, and they don't really target her. But I guess there was other distractions going on. Damien finalist. We always talked about this. We already talked about this. Excuse me. This one is so funny. It says tapeworm or jackhammer referenced. Listen, if they don't reference the tapeworm, or if they don't reference Lauren's jackhammer, Scary Girl's jackhammer, I'm gonna be so mad. And this is a really random one, but if they do it, like, you can't say that I'm not psychic. Like, you can't. Someone will help Axel or Nichelle get over their problems, in quotes. Yeah, Axel has temperament problems, and Nichelle is a flop. So, and this would go along with my theory that she like won the challenge by accident, and it wasn't actually her skills that got them to win. And so she feels like she'd be like an imposter syndrome kind of character. Like, she would feel like she had to live up to that. And so then Axel would train her, and then Nichelle would help her to be more friendly and sociable, and Axel would help her to be more physically competent and tough. That'd be super cool. I can't wait for them. They'll be like a Priya and Millie, and they could even be better. They could be an even better version of that. And one of them could also get kicked off earlier. It doesn't need to be both of them in the finale. Emma develops without Chase. I said that. I think she might fall for Caleb, or even be a little bit villainous, like a little bit antagonistic, and maybe apologize to Bowie or form a new friendship with someone on her team. Julia, romance or friendship. I definitely feel this, and this is a very random one, but I think Julia, and I specifically said it with Ripper, but I think she's going to have a romance, or she's going to have a friendship with one of the characters, because right now she literally has no friends, and she's almost enemies with the entire cast. Like, she has no friends. Z will do something smart. It's going to be like Lindsay, where Lindsay like won that challenge. Z will win a challenge by doing something smart, and especially if it's movie related, he definitely will be smart in that aspect and win. So I can't wait for that. Ripper will have a soft side exposed. I talked about this earlier. He'll be like Duncan, and that'll be his plot, or the quote unquote new side we see to him is, oh, he's actually a softie, or interested in something nerdy, or maybe has an insecurity or something. So we're definitely going to get more depth to him. And Ripper is a character that could be pretty good without the fart stuff, so I wouldn't necessarily mind if he goes far, but only if he doesn't go further than characters I really want to go far. Like, if Axel is kicked off instead of him again, or Damien or Nichelle or whoever, I'm going to be mad about it. But that's all I have. I'll make an update video about this once the season actually comes out, and we can see if I got a bingo. We can see if I got 4 in a row. So let me know your predictions down in the comments below, and your response to my predictions, and if any of them make sense, or if I'm just talking, or if I'm just talking. Like, am I just talking? So I'll see you guys later.